Our phones are always within reach, but how many of us know how dangerous it can be to use them? Mobile security risks are on the rise. More than 60% of digital fraud, like phishing attacks and stolen passwords, now happens on mobile devices. So in this video, we will discuss the 10 dangers of using a smartphone. But before we start our video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon as well. Number 1. Data leaks. Almost every app on your smartphone collects information from it. This information could include your name, date of birth, credit card and bank account numbers, location history, contact list, photos, and more. It's a little scary when you realize how much information about you is stored on servers that app developers run. If these servers are hacked or have a technical problem that makes them vulnerable, criminals can steal all of this information and use it to commit fraud. By changing your device's security settings to limit the amount of data each app can collect and to think twice before downloading a new app that asks for a lot of permissions. If these apps are on your phone, you should know that someone could be spying on you. Number 2. Open Wi-Fi. In a pinch, it's helpful to be able to connect to open Wi-Fi networks that don't require a password or encryption. If you did that, anyone nearby could easily watch everything you do online. Worse, a cybercriminal can make a fake Wi-Fi hotspot to trick people into connecting to it so they can steal their data. For example, instead of taking you to your bank's website, the Wi-Fi network could send you to a page that looks just like it and swipe your password when you try to log in. The safest thing to do is to only connect to Wi-Fi access points that you know and trust. Don't connect to just anyone you find. If you have no other choice, don't do any of these things when you're using public Wi-Fi. Number 3. Phishing attacks. Cybercriminals often use email, text messages, and even voice calls to trick their targets into giving up a password, clicking on a link to download malware, or confirming a transaction. This is called phishing. Phishing is still one of the most common and effective ways for cybercriminals to get information from their victims. Always check who is asking for your personal information so you don't fall for a phishing scam. We suggest, for example, telling a caller who says they are from your bank that you will call back using the bank's real phone number. Also, you should get rid of these texts right away because they are probably scams. Number 4. Spyware. Apps that say they can track what your family and children are doing should be avoided. In reality, they are spyware that is designed to allow very invasive digital surveillance through a smartphone. Abusers can use these apps to do things like read texts and emails, find out where the phone is, listen in on nearby conversations, take pictures, and more. Even apps that aren't very sneaky can still collect information about what you do on your phone. You should avoid these apps that want a lot of permissions or any permissions that have to do with accessibility. Those permissions let apps read the text in other apps or control other apps. That's a lot of power that can be abused. Look out for these warning signs that someone is spying on your computer. Number 5. Malicious apps. If you think an app is too good to be true, it probably is. This is called the Trojan horse trick. An app may seem helpful because it gives you free access to something that should cost money, but it actually has a virus in it. People who take the bait and install these malicious apps are often surprised when, instead of the free content they were promised, their whole phone is locked, their data is stolen, and they are faced with threats. Other times, the virus might use the phone's online banking app to secretly send money to the attacker's account. Prevention is the best way to deal with these harmful apps. Stay away from apps that claim to give you free access to paid content, aren't in well-known app stores, and haven't been reviewed before. These are the apps that security experts would never have on their phones. Number 6. Apps with weak security. Many smartphone apps can put your information at risk if they don't have strong security standards. App developers might use weak encryption algorithms that are easy to break, or they might share digital tokens that hackers can use to pretend to be real people online. The average person can't do much to find out which apps aren't very good at keeping their data safe. A good rule of thumb is to be smart about the information you give each app. You might not think twice about letting an app save your email address, but you should be more careful about giving an app access to your contacts or letting it store sensitive information like your social security number or date of birth. You can protect your information with these mobile security apps. Number 7. Poor password security. In 2019, Google found that more than half of Americans use the same passwords for more than one account. Cybercriminals love these passwords because they can use them to get into hundreds of accounts by buying huge lists of hacked and leaked passwords on the dark web. To keep hackers out of your accounts, you should set up multi-factor authentication and use a password manager app to make and store unique passwords for each account. That way, you don't have to use the name of your pet as your only way to keep your money safe and out of the hands of thieves. Hackers want you to make mistakes with your passwords so they can get into your accounts. Number 8. Out-of-date devices. How long has it been since you last updated your phone? It could be the key to keeping malware and other cyber attacks away from your device. Phones that are too old to get security updates should be replaced. Even if it seems to still work, there's a risk in using an old phone that hasn't gotten the latest security updates. Checking the end-of-life or end-of-support date on the manufacturer's website will tell you how long your device will be supported. Samsung updates its devices for up to 4 years. Apple updates iPhones regularly for about 5 to 6 years, and Google supports its Pixel line of phones for at least 3 years. Just so you know, that's not the only sign that you need a new cell phone. Number 9. Identity theft. In the last few years, there have been a lot more reports of identity theft. Since March 2020 alone, millions of cases have been found. Recently, thieves have used stolen identities to open new cell phone accounts or take over an existing account to upgrade phones or add phone lines. People may get big bills from their carrier or from accounts that identity thieves open with other carriers without the victim's knowledge. Set up a password or PIN with your carrier to protect your mobile phone account. You will need this password or PIN to make any changes to your account in the future. These scary things can also be done with your cell phone number by hackers. Number 10. Cause accidents. Most accidents happen because people spend too much time on their phones. Every other person is glued to their cell phone. They get hooked on it and always want to use their phones. They can't stop using their phones, even when they're driving or walking on the street. People walking on the roads are in danger because of them. Accidents happen when drivers use cell phones. In car accidents, they can hurt themselves and also put someone else's life in danger or kill someone else. These are the top 10 dangers of using smartphones. If you like the video, leave a comment and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Press the bell icon for all the latest updates. Thanks for watching.